Okay, YouTube. So here I am again, Price Down Mall. I'm actually recording a quick video. I mean, I never do stuff like this. Software descriptions, configurations. I never do stuff like that, but why not? See quite a few people doing it. I think I got something to say about these devices. But anyways, just going into it, I have the 2002 Xterra. Had some engine codes come up, and I just wanted to know what they were, so I bought this Bluetooth ODBII device on eBay for like $10 or $11, and I figured why not make a short video on what it does. So I bought this for a Mustang, but surprisingly enough, it didn't work on the Mustang. So I figured, let me just plug it into the Xterra. Since they're all kind of vague in the descriptions and they have a lot of information, I figure why not. So it looks just like that. There's quite a few just like it. I mean, they're all over eBay. So there's a cheap imitations or whatever, the ones you could buy in there anyway. So going into the details, I actually figured why not plug it in. So this is just a Bluetooth. This one, it's a wireless and Bluetooth. So I figure why not get it into the Xterra. So I figured let's look for the ODB port, which is down here. I mean, you can't miss it. It's like right there. It's that white connector, and this thing just goes in there. And once you connect it, without any trouble, I mean, it just goes like that. Once you connect it, the Bluetooth becomes active, and you're able to see it. I had this tablet laying around my house, so I figured let me just buy the software. I think the software cost me $10, and the name of it's DashCommand, which you see the icon right here. You can download it for the Android and I believe for the iPhone, so I'm not sure about that. I have Android devices, so here it is. I mean, it's actually quite nifty. It has quite a few features considering the price and the people that make it. So I'm just gonna get into my vehicle here real quick. Get away from the helicopter that's just flying around. And so I just put it on that. As you can see, it's got the date, the date. You know, I put the 2002 Nissan Xterra, and I put some of the information in there. I think the version is somewhere in there. I'm not sure, but I don't look for that kind of stuff. I just wanted to see if it works or not. But basically, that's what it looks like. You could download it from the Play Store, and you're able to get it there on the Android market. So, anyways, just going into it as far as the what it does. You just need to be sure that the Bluetooth, in this case right there, enabled. Don't care so much about the wireless right now, but as you can see, I already had it paired, so it will come up just like that. And what will happen is that once you put or start the vehicle, I mean, you could hit cancel here and I have it to not connect. You could actually set it. If you go into settings, and you could tell it to auto connect. But what was happening is that if you put it in auto connect, as you can see, never start up immediately and all of that. If you do that, what it's going to try to do is try to connect, and then it's going to give you some funky error, and I hated that. So I always want to have control of the software. So it says not connected. Now, to be able to connect it and tell this nifty dashboard here, it's coming up to tell you something, which is basically what's coming up from the port that's in the computer on the vehicle. We get out of this, go back, and obviously you do have to set up the vehicle here. That's one of the basic setups. I set up mine already, and I'll go into more detail with that later on, but I've already gathered enough information about my vehicle to where I can actually change some of the advanced settings, and you can see them there. I filled up, so I was able to determine that almost completely running out of gas in this vehicle I was able to put 19.375 gallons of gas. I would call that 20 gallons of gas, which is a lot. It's a huge tank. This thing here, the brake specific fuel and the horsepower, that's used for a calculation. And I just put there what they're recommended. That's not really anywhere I could find. So this one is a naturally aspirated engine, so I figure why not use the default. So instead of 45, so I put 45. And all of these things like this one, that one, the map, the lambda, I don't think that even comes up because there's no PIDs for it. But I believe that if I was to find the PIDs on the web and I enter them here, I may actually get a reading on the display on the GUI, which will be kind of cool because it'll give me something else. Now this one here, I entered the 265/17/16, and the final gear ratios or drive ratios, I actually found those online on a cool website that I saw, and he had the numbers for each for the axle, first, second, third, and fourth gear. So he had those ratios in there. So I entered those. You don't really want to put zeros here because it will give you the wrong reading. So you just want to put what you get on those parameters. The curb weight 5,000 pounds, and just kept going down here. The red line, which is 8,000 in here. You can see there is 8,000. So I put it there. Now these two numbers were kind of tricky, and what this is, the minimum engine speed is not 0. I used to think it was 0, but all that is, it's if you go into the gear control, once you start the dash, you can see the shifting pattern, and that's really up to you what that number is going to be. And what I mean by that is that when you have to play with these numbers here, because those have to do with fuel efficiency. So if you want your fuel efficiency to be calculated properly, you want these numbers to be not what you think they should be, but you have to make them how you drive. So depending on how heavy you are on the pedal and the acceleration is how those numbers are going to change. So you may accelerate really fast or quickly on a light, and those numbers are going to change because your gears are going to act accordingly. And based on that, the shifting points are going to be different for each person. Now, I just wanted to get the best fuel economy out of this vehicle. Right now, I think I'm registering about 16 miles per gallon on a regular day with stop and go on the highway, driving around town and so on. Now, if I go on the highway, most likely it's going to go up because I'm not going back and forth and stopping, and I'm going to be doing 65 miles an hour. All the way to my destination, I would think, if I'm on the highway, like on the interstate. So those numbers will be different for everyone. If you want to start with those, that should be okay, I would think. 637 and 1662, and I'll show you in a moment what that is. But those were the ones that I was able to put in there, at least as far as I got configured. And then you see that validate page. I actually haven't changed anything because I haven't added any of them. And you could actually not only add more vehicles, you can see there, I got two. I got a Mustang, and I also have the Xterra. Okay, so as you can see in there, okay, there you go. Just turn on the brightness by mistake. But anyways, I'm just gonna go back. I'm just hitting the go back button on my tablet, but I'm gonna hit connect, and it's gonna go around a couple times, and it's gonna turn green, and it just did. So what that means is that now you have connection. And the cool thing about it is that you could go immediately here to the gauges. You can already see that the gauges are moving. Now some of them don't show much. Like that's the engine torque. You probably see it moving there. Those are kind of slow. And horsepower, they're hard to see. That's kind of like a fancy thing to look at if you want it to be just getting your stuff in there. That's another page. I just scrolled to the right, and that comes up. You have the fuel economy, which is an A here, and yeah, it doesn't. I haven't really played with this part of the program. I don't really quite use it because it's just for the looks, and you can see that some of them show an A. And all I think that is that it's still trying to calculate the stuff, and also, I mean, there you can see the coolant temperature already, but also that the pits are not there. The other two are like the trim. You see how it's moving, and the load, the percentage load right here. You can see that needle moving. I'm just gonna escape that. I'll go back to the dashboard. That's actually the coolest part about this, because it gives you an instant reading of all this kind of stuff that you can see here. Now, if you were to click, this one is actually a skin that I downloaded. So let me just go here to settings and put it into one of the defaults. Just gonna use not the portrait but landscape. Okay, so that's the tuxedo landscape. Gonna go back in there. It looks pretty much the same, but this one you see is got the bigger controls here. It doesn't have the fuel economy down here, which is the skin I downloaded, which you can do too. But you could change these, and now you have the timing. So you could see that, see the timing. You can see the power. You could see the intake temperatures. You can see there the torque. You could see the actual temperature on the coolant. So this is kind of neat because you could see at a glance what this thing will do. That one doesn't change. You could go, it's got more pages. Let me go. Okay, so this is just for the fuel entries. Now this is for the gears. You see how that changed? Those are my actual shift points that I've already set up. So obviously down here it's on the 630s, and there's my first shift point. So it shows that, and the economy, and it'll actually come up with an arrow here. I'll show you the gear 1, 2, 3, and 4. That blue thing is like you're at a stop, which I am right now. Okay, you have more meters here, which those are actually, that's the trim for the fuel. Coolant again, load, and you can see the lambda. That's not entered. You see it says NA, so those things need to be entered. As far as the pit, it gives you the O2 sensor. I mean, it's a pretty nifty utility. I mean, I pay $9.99. I use my Google Wallet to pay for it. You could use PayPal, I think, or your debit card, credit card, whatever you have set up. You could pay for it. You just have to create an account, and once you do that, you actually download it, and you're good to go. I mean, this actually save a little bit of my time. I already got some readings there, so you can see the fuel economy, the fuel consumed. And this is my second tank on the utility, so it says you need to fill up at least 3 times, and then you start getting better readings, because it just accumulates and it actually adjusts for the differences. So that's one thing to look at. There it gives you more readings, the average fuel economy. So you could see the fuel flow, and you could actually, you see, change to gallons, the percentage. You can see all of that, and I actually like this quite a bit, especially the diagnostics. That's how I found the code. I cleared up the code already, and I had it photographed on my phone, but when I did the read codes, what it did is that it flashed, it went through, it didn't give me any errors. This morning I got the error code. I was able to clear it up right away. From the car was on, I clear, and it disappeared from the dash. And as you can see, there's no engine light on, and it never came back. so it's code free right now, and you could actually go here and see what those are, what is monitoring. You see the greens, the not supported ones. It's got the little key down here which tells you what those colors are. I mean, pretty cool. You could clear the codes there, read the codes, and you could even add PIDs in the configuration for the vehicle. So there's more data points here. Here's where you could actually add PIDs. So you could actually add them or remove them as you see fit. So this utility, let me tell you, I had programmers and tuners and readers and all kinds of stuff, and I don't think I can beat $9.99, which is what I paid for this. So I just wanted to take a quick video on it. I'm actually quite satisfied. I mean, you can see the RPM going up, and it's pretty neat. I basically just put it here like that, and try to play with it a little bit. Try not to do it while you're driving, but it's pretty cool. I just thought I'd show you that, and enjoy it if you get it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Leave your comments, are always appreciated. I'm actually going to do another video to program one of my remotes, one of these. A lot of people that I know have lost theirs and they want to program them, so I'll do a video on that probably in the weekend or a couple of weeks or something like that. Okay, so as far as it goes, have a good one, enjoy the video, and until the next one, thanks so much.